Good morning. Hey, Jambi. Hey, Val. Hey, Haida. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning, Suki. Weekend was good. It was a very warm weekend here in Singapore. So didn't do much. Had Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day in um, Singapore. I think it was Mother's Day everywhere. But we celebrated Mother's Day. So big happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Good day, Nick. How are you doing? Hey, Booba. Good morning. Again, we'll give it a couple of minutes before we get started. Suki, it is summer. It's in the tropics. We're in the tropics. So it's always summer. It feels like it's always summer. For sure, there's no winter. It just gets a bit rainy sometimes. If you haven't already, maybe we should, do a gathering in Singapore. You guys should come down to Singapore. Spend a couple of days, trade together. How about that? No, you wouldn't want the tropic weather. You wouldn't want that. Hey Chiwan, how are you doing? Right, one more minute and we shall get started. If you haven't already, click that like, thumbs up button, click that rocket ship button. Let's get more people aware of this session so that we can get more people on board. Hey Haida. Yeah, I've been talking to a couple of you guys, a couple of people in Dubai. So we might be there sooner rather than later. So maybe we'll catch up in Dubai. No, the large and dangerous spiders comes out in Australia, the redbacks and all that. Hey, GMFX Trading, good to see you. Good morning, good afternoon. Hey, Goju, good morning. Getting started soon. Anyone had a trade? Any trades that you guys got into? Let me know. Hi, Robbie, how are you doing? Alrighty. Let's get started. So it is Monday, a brand new week of trading ahead of us. Today we are having the daily market analysis where we'll get into or look into the fundamentals. Not much has happened since the last time we spoke. So we do a bit of review of the fundamentals. We look a bit of the projections in what could happen. We look at the technicals in terms of where price is right now, where it could head towards. Combining that together, we look into some possible trade setups. From what I've been looking at today, it looks like it might be a little bit consolidative, some short-term retracements before possibly that continuation of the trend. But let's look into it through this session. Suki did a good pound yen trade. Well done. I was scalping the yen. I was sharing with you guys the yen to the upside today, so I was trading the yen up. For all the new viewers, if you're new to the session, a big welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you do have any trading related questions, any particular pairs, or a question in terms of your trade or trades that you got into, please put it into the chat. Let me know. I'll be happy to give you my points of view on that. And for all the regulars, you are my favorite people. Thank you for being on this session as a regular. It's almost like clockwork now. So good to have you guys with us. All right. If you haven't already, the link is there. Do join the trading community. The link is there. It is absolutely free to join. You can take the discussions beyond this 1 hour session as we look into sharing more trade ideas as price moves along. All right, and lastly, if you can help me out, click that like and subscribe button, the rocket ship button and follow button on TradingView. This helps with the algorithm to helps us get found easier. All right. With that quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. Please do your own due diligence because the contents of this webinar is not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product, and your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. Okay, so if you agree to all of that, we'll keep going on. Good morning, Angel Case. How are you doing? Hi, BL. So as we look into the news, I've got Forex Factory here, looking at what happened on Friday. Since we spoke, nothing much happened apart from preliminary University of Michigan, UOM, consumer sentiment. A little bit of a surprise that it went from a 63.5, expected 63, came out at a 57.7, right? This was at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8. But if you looked at it at 11 on, where was it? There, we didn't see the impact, right? We didn't see, at 10 o'clock, we didn't see the impact. In fact, we saw the dollar index continue rising to the upside. We saw it continue rising to the upside, breaking above that 102 level, 102.40 level, and came all the way as high as almost 102.80, right? And then now, for today, retracing back down a little bit. Dollar rise to 5-week high on inflation worries. That's a bit weird that they have inflation worries, but right now it looks like it's retracing back down. Okay, so what I have here is the summary sheet. Today is the 15th of May. Half of the month gone already. Is there any correlation between DXY, stocks at NASDAQ or S&P 500s in the bullish move on Friday brought down most of stocks? Yes. Short and quick answer to that, Buba, is that there is a inverse relationship between the DXY and the equities markets, especially the indices, where we do tend to see, or you should tend to see, DXY increasing. It's going to drag down on equities. And then when DXY is dropping, you see the equity market rise up. Okay, so there is an inverse relationship between the two. Any further questions? Okay, good. So that was the news from last week. No big surprise, or one small surprise, but the next thing to look at is today, right? No big news to be worried about, right? Apart from the Empire State Manufacturing Index, I don't think it's going to be a big deal for this point, at this point. And then looking into tomorrow, not much else until 2 p.m. where we do have the UK with their employment numbers, right? UK with the employment numbers, claimant count change, looking to go from 28.2K to a 31.2, right? That actually means that there's going to be a slight, or they're expecting a slight increase in the number of people claiming for unemployment benefits, right? Unemployment related benefits. So a bigger number is not a good number. A bigger number means that more people are being unemployed or not working. So going from 28.2 to 31.2, a small uptick. We might see some weakness there on the pound dollar. Average hey Mark, no worries, good to have you here. Average earnings index going from 5.9 to a 5.8. Again, small drop, I don't think it's going to affect prices too much. Unemployment rate staying at that 3.8%. Okay, so in the overall scheme of things, I think this is not going to do too much for the pound dollar. It will still be quite dependent, or directional bias right across the board. Looking at this, is still going to be quite dependent on the dollar index. Early tomorrow morning, we do have the Aussie with their monetary policy meeting minutes. Typically, meeting minutes does not have a big impact on prices because we already know the decision. We've already read the statement to why they came to that decision or how they came to that decision. So the meeting minutes typically doesn't have a big impact unless it releases more information about the view or the sentiment of the members of the board of the RBA. Okay, so normally I'm not too worried about this all the way through to tomorrow night with the Canadian CPI numbers to be released. But I will tell you more about the Canadian CPI tomorrow during our session at 3 p.m. All right. Hey Spiros, how are you doing? So looking at this, not much to worry about. With that said, let's look into the charts. The dollar index broke strongly to the upside. Let me just move this away for now. So since this has cleared out, it's broken that 61.8, I'll take that away. And somehow this box is away again in the way. Okay, let me move that there for now. All right, so looking at this, we were looking at this for the dollar index to test 102 and trade to the downside. It didn't. It broke above 102 and continued higher, but now it looks like it's trading back down again. So what I've done is I've extended the fib level or the fib retracement tool all the way to the top, capturing this whole move. And also I want to test this as well. All right, so I'm just capturing this move from the bottom here all the way to the top, and then also a more recent one, a cleaner upward move from this 101.21 level to the top again. And what you'll notice here is that confluence of 23.6 is quite a similar direction. So you get a confluence here at this 102.40 resistance turned support level. All right, so it's a resistance turned support. This is a round number support level. So with that, what I'll be tempted to do is take this away. Okay, so now we have this 102.40 as a support, immediate support, 102 as the next support level. Anticipation is that could we see the dollar break this support level and trade towards 102. So break below 102.40 towards 102. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Okay, so there we have it. So 102 will be around that 50% level, and then quite similar, same thing here. That's what I'm looking for. But what we could also see is that price comes down and then after that bounces back up again. Right? Why am I putting that consideration in is really because it's been on the upward move. I'll take this away just to clean up. Right? It's been on the upward move, on the upward trend. You can see that there's no news or no big reason why we think that it could retrace this level, could come into play. Let me just check my levels. Yep, I like 103 there because of this points. Right, so because of these points, I would say I like that level as a resistance level. All right, I'll take this away for now. So there we have it. Okay, two options is either look for a reaction. What I'm possibly trying to say is that we're looking for the dollar to come down towards 102.40. Look for that price action at 102.40. If it rejects this level, we could see it trade up towards 103. If it breaks down, then 102. Why a little bit of indecision at this point is because there's no big news or no big reason why we should see it, or rather this could be a technical recession, a technical retracement before pushing up. Very similar to what we've seen bit of a consolidation, a bit of a push down before pushing back up again. Okay, so keeping it very flexible. When there is, sometimes when you're approaching the markets, you don't always have a clear view of where prices could head towards straight away. All right. I do see that a lot of sometimes our members would jump on, right at the start of the day and go, all right, my bias for today is a bullish index or a bearish dollar index. Sometimes you do need price to move. You do need a bit of a price development before you get a better idea of where prices could head towards. So for the DXY, I'll be looking for a there we go. Looking for reaction along 102.40. Okay, I think that we could see DXY trade up to 103. All right, so in fact, what I would say is that I'll take that away. I think that we could see it come down, test this support, and bounce back up. If it breaks, then we could see some downside. Fair enough? All good, all good. Let me know. With that, then looking at the Kiwi dollar. All right, Kiwi dollar, we spoke about this on Friday. We were looking for it to bounce and then possibly break that 23 to the upside. Didn't happen, right? Didn't happen, so I'll take that away. This one, we could drag it all the way back down, and I'll take this away. So just keeping the charts, all the analysis up to date. Right now, interestingly, is that you can see that price had that big drop, rebounded towards that 0.6225, about 25 level, which coincides with this 23.6. Okay, I put in 50 there just to check, but I think that what we would be looking for here, because of that big drop that we've seen towards the end of last week, what you could be looking for is for price to develop and possibly look to sell down from here. Okay, so I would say about 10. Let me just check my levels. Okay, so I have this. I would in fact make this a hesitation level just because of that swing point there. So I would say that you could be looking to sell down on the Kiwi dollar, for example, at about 6210, a bit early. I would like to say below 62, but that's just a bit. Okay, let's say below 62. 6195. Stop loss 30 pips. Take profit. First one would be 30, but you could go all the way down to about 80 pips. Right, so that's the key support level here. So I'll take reference to this point here. So Kiwi dollar, I'll be looking for continuation to the downside. 23.6 being held, could turn down, so below 0.62. So 6195, 30 pip stop loss, 80 pip take profit. Thank you, Suki. So we're selling 0.6195, stop loss 30 pips, take profit 80 pips. All right, and bear in mind there is a bit of a hesitation there at 6160, which is where we saw the previous swing levels. With that said about the Kiwi dollar, then looking at the Aussie, came all the way down. Let me know if you caught this trade. Came straight down to the support level. Good morning, Diana. How are you doing? All right, and it hit this level and bounced off. So the last time we were talking about this, Aussie, we were looking to buy at 6710. That's way up there. I'll take that away for now. This first part moved to a charm, like a charm. Right now, very similar to the Kiwi dollar. All right, so if you look at this, it would be very similar to the Kiwi dollar, just that it's broken that 23. It looks like it's broken at 23.6 fib retracement level, but we do have 6690 at previous swing point there. Okay, so here's an alternative view, is that if the dollar does strengthen, right? If the dollar continues to strengthen, then you could be looking to sell the Kiwi dollar down. Alternatively, if the dollar does trade down, break below, and come towards 102, then we could be looking for the Aussie to push up. All right, so you have two scenarios: dollar weaken, buy the Aussie up; dollar strengthen, sell the Kiwi down. So I would be looking at the previous high here at above 67. So 6710. Let's go for a nice round number. 30 pip again, 30 pip stop loss. I would like to say all the way up. But if you went for this, that, okay, it would be a totally, it's either the Kiwi or the Aussie. In fact, as we're talking about this, I think the Aussie is going to come down as well. I'll tell you what. So this is an off chance later. This is a later trade. Maybe it's going to break and push to the upside. If you were looking to sell the Aussie down, I don't think it will be worth doing. 20 pip stop loss, at the most a 40 pip take profit, like that. Okay, so 6675, just about 20 pip to 35. Okay, I wouldn't signal this as a trade idea, but I do, the possibility is that it's going to come down again. Could form a double bottom and for a big push up. But what I would be looking for is for the Aussie at best to break above this point. Oops, sorry. For the Aussie to break above this point before looking to buy up. Okay, so 6710, 30 pip stop loss, 80 pip take profit to the upside. 6710, it's the same thing that we had on Friday. Okay, there we go. So the first view is that it could come down and then bounce back up. Yeah, I would say make a choice. Look at how the dollar index is going to move. Could be looking to sell the Kiwi down or possibly buy the Aussie up. Either or, never both. Okay. Then next up, the yen, highlighting this level. So when I sent it out this morning, I think it was at about that point, right? And I was scalping this up, and we said, hey, it's coming to that 61.8 level. If it doesn't, if it more upside, if it breaks above 61.8. And this is why your levels are very important, because it came right up to 61.8, failed to break above, and now is retracing back down. Also because of what we're seeing on the dollar, it's trading back down. So I'll take that away. 61.8, take away that 50% because that's done, that's broken already. Right now, if you were looking for a counter trend trade, I would say this could set up quite nicely. Right, we do have the CAD with a counter trend trade idea as well, but you could be looking for this. I would say maybe 135.65, stop loss 50, take profit all the way down, maybe 100 pips to the downside, a 1:2 risk reward ratio, so 115. about 55 to 115. All right, if that dollar continues to weaken back down. So what I'm looking for here is that price breaks down from this point. So 135.65, 55 pip stop loss, 115 pip take profit. Counted slightly of a counter trend trade, so just watch out for that. So 135.65, stop loss 55, take profit 115. You'll also note that this is a relatively big, you might want to be considering to size down on the trade, manage your risk if you're looking to take this on the counter trend. The reason for this idea will be because of that rejection of that 61.8 retracement level, and also anticipation that we might see the dollar trade down towards 102. Okay. Hi, Noigad, how are you doing? Hope I got your nickname right. Yeah. Okay. If the yen pushes up, then relatively straightforward. You can look to buy it up. But with the way it's moving, I think there's going to be some downside. Maybe it'll come down towards that 135 level and bounce back up. But I think that the sell side potential will be rather immediate. With that, pound dollar has been a little bit disappointing. Was looking for it to bounce off this. So I was looking at this, ideally hoping for it to bounce off this level, but it didn't. In fact, it broke straight down. Right now, pushing back up again. So let me just clear this out. And community members will know that I wasn't Friday. I think at about 5 or 6 p.m. GMT plus 8. I signed off and I said, all right, that's me done for the week. We did see some volatility, but it wasn't enough to get me back onto the computer and jumping into trades. Right, so I took an early end to the session last week. Right now, looking at the pound dollar. Hi, Emlida, how are you doing? I would say that slowly these lines are starting to be a little bit irrelevant. It's still okay for now because we have 2 to 3 points supporting the upward push. Right, and you can also see that this 1.2040 level is holding quite strong, pushing to the upside. It needs to move quite a bit more before we could be looking to buy the pound dollar back up. I wouldn't rush into it. I think that, look at it, everything is coming, everything is retracing. So remember when I started the session and I was saying might not be great trading opportunities today because we are looking at possibly, everything is it could retrace to this level and then turn back down, or if it breaks past, then it could trade up, right? So it's all retracing to a decision level. You just want to form a bit of a expectation, look for the trade setups and have both scenarios. Dollar continues to weaken or dollar recovers in further strength, for which trade you'd be looking for. So remember, Kiwi dollar, we're looking at dollar, look, it's pushing up. So that might become invalid quite soon, right? Dollar strength, we could be looking to sell this down. Dollar weakness, we'll be looking to buy this up. Dollar weakness, we'll be looking to sell the US yen to the downside. Pound, I would say dollar weakness, we'll be looking to buy this up. Right, above 102, 1.25, round number resistance level, good place for a breakout. If it does break out, then you could be looking at 1.2515. Take profit 60 pips. Stop loss very tight here at about 20 pips. 1:3, almost 1:3 to the upside there on the pound dollar towards 1.2580. Okay, so dollar weakness pushing this to the upside. It needs to break above 1.25, which coincides with that 23.6 fib retracement level. Okay, so pound dollar, I'll be looking to buy 1.2515, stop loss 20 pips, take profit was 60 pips. 60 pips. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, all good so far. Let me know if you have any questions. With that, then looking at the euro dollar, right? So it bounced a little bit, didn't get to our trigger level, didn't break above that trend line. So I'll take that away, and I'll take this away as well. All right, and in fact, if you look at this now, this trend line is probably a little bit invalid, or rather a little bit far away. We could be looking at the euro dollar pushing up before turning back down again. So for now, I would just drag this right down. Okay, there we have it. Looking at this, we have a big support here. At 1.0830, next one is at just below 1.08. Looking at the euro dollar, I would say that we could be looking for this to, I don't think it'll go all the way up to that trend line. I think we could see the euro dollar trade up slightly before turning back down again. All right, so dollar weakened, to that 102 level. Currently at 102.50. If it goes down to 102, we might see the euro dollar push up, but it could just come up to 109 and turn back down again. So I would say that on the dollar strength, well, slight weaken before strength again, could be looking to sell below 109, so 1.0895, stop loss 20 pips, take profit immediately will be 50, or it could go down to 60 pips to the downside. Hey man, Maniac, good morning, how are you doing? All right, so a bit of a longer term play there on the euro dollar, but I don't want to be all focused on the dollar strength or all focused on the dollar index. At least you get some different scenarios here. So 1.0895, stop loss 20 pips, take profit 60 pips. Euro dollar, sell 1.0895, stop loss 20, take profit 60. Okay, you can see, you probably get a bit of a view that we're getting a bit of a mixed bag here, just because I want to see how this develops, right? And this also shows a bit of my, the way I trade, or give you a bit of an insight in the way I trade. I do prefer when there are some news events ahead, because without news events, it becomes very technical, right? It's very technical analysis, which you are looking for reactions at support or resistance levels. I do prefer when there are some news events where we can expect price to, we can plan for, and we can expect price to push in either in a particular direction. Okay, then next up, wow, I just realized something. I'm really breezing through this, and you guys are quiet, so if you have any questions, do let me know. If not, this will be a relatively short and sharp session. Okay, so US Swiss franc, we were saying that watch as the triangle forms. What happened was it did break out of a triangle, went up to almost that resistance level. Now it looks like it's trading back down again. So given that the triangle has broken, I'll take that away. You can see that this resistance of about 0.9, right, has held, turned down, held, and had a break downside, and again.